Should be live, babes.
Hello. I'm just putting together the final touches for tonight's Checkpoint live stream and podcast recording. Tamer's over there getting himself... Jesus Christ, that's disgusting. What are you doing?
Just ignore me. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Ignore it.
Ignore it. It's fine.
Can never unsee
Everything's fine.
Anyway, it's lovely to be here. We've got a good show for you, I think.
You think?
As opposed to almost everything we've put out in the last 6 months. But I'm rested this time. I haven't spent the whole weekend working, which I had last time, and then been out working all day because I'm massively underemployed. And so there's content. There's actual content. I was thinking there should be like bonus content for people watching the live stream.
I agree. There should be bonus content
and it should be better than this. That's the tricky bit. So Tamer is just editing up. By the way, it's hashtag what's the point?
Yes.
Don't forget. And I'll be checking that. He said, thinking, how do I check that? Yeah. What was I going to say? I don't know.
I'm just editing something up for the children.
Yes, that's right. That's what I was going to say. Tamer has written a bedtime story for the children. But it may well be that the mics were open and you heard all of that anyway, which is really frightening. I don't think we libelled anyone. Don't know. So I'm just checking the hashtag. Hashtag what's the point?
I'm going to try to check the YouTube videos as well, just so that you're aware. And I will be, we will resume something.
Yeah. Tell me, Tamer, just because I don't understand anything. When is this going out? What are you editing it up for?
Right. So this was supposed to go out before the live stream. In fact, it might be worth just leaving it until next week. Should we leave it?
Yeah. Why are you doing it now then?
I don't know. You know what?
We're long overdue.
We're long overdue, aren't we? Okay, fine.
Anyway, hi Jam. Hi Julie. Oh no.
I'm coming.
No.
Hold on. Where's my...
Worth reminding you that this is not necessarily SFW.
What?
Whilst the podcast.
No. Yes, this will not be SFW.
And I hope you'll take any slander or libel in the spirit in which it's intended.
Absolutely.
It's all in fun.
Yes. Hi everybody.
We're having some...
I just thought I'd say hello. I need to recalibrate that camera. You might need to just push it over that way.
What, you see you're more central?
Yeah, just a little bit, because that's better.
Happy?
Hi.
Great.
Hi.
Hi
everybody. Welcome to another Checkpoint module live stream thing. We're hoping that the audio's okay. I think it's fine. It looks good.
As always, hashtag what's the point if you want to tell us how terrible it is.
Yeah, I mean, we're always here for that purpose.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice.
It's great that the conversation's already started. Owen on Twitter has already said, never got country music and never will get country music. Load of old shite. I mean, we don't own the hashtag what's the point?
No.
So we're just going to have to put up with whatever people...
Yeah. That was
literally
a
one
third
of the latest
party.
Kind
of thing. We hope you like the new setup. Kind of. It's a bit better lit, I think.
Tamer gets to show off that he has books.
Yes.
Woo-hoo!
But you can't really see them. You can only see the crap on this
exquisitely
level.
uncreased spines.
Which is, I don't know if any of you played. I never did play World of Warcraft. Still sealed. The collector's edition of the Wrath of the Lich King. Quite a collector's item now. They've just re-released World of Warcraft, actually.
And here on price-drop.tv, I think you'd be very surprised at the price we've managed to secure these exclusive products at.
£7 million.
But hang on a minute. It's dropped. It's only $139.99. Guys, get on the phone.
This is really annoying me now. Hold on. There we go. So what have you been up to? Talk to me about games.
All right, are we starting?
We should start.
Okay.
We should start proper. So
are we pretending this is the podcast now?
Yeah. Shall we?
Hello.
Hi everybody. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
A Queen's speech, eh? Whew, she knows how to lift the words off a page.
She literally. Did you notice that it was only on the right-hand page that she was reading
gags,
from?
spot on.
Yeah, she was great.
Loved all that. It was a little bit blue, but very, very funny. Anyway, yes, hello, welcome along, and it's great to be here because we've done some prep.
a little. Well, Jake has probably done a bit more prep than I have, but
Don't count on it.
well, you know,
Oh, this is a disaster then.
no, it's fine. It's fine.
No, I've
There's
done
some
a
good
quiz.
stuff. There's just some good. What?
Yeah.
You've done a quiz?
It's
Amazing.
a really good
So
quiz.
last week you got 3 points, I think, didn't you, for the quiz?
It was
you
2. Don't.
got. Was it 3?
Please don't patronise me like that.
I thought it was 3. I genuinely thought it was 3.
genuinely 2.
And I've just realised that people can see me messing and mixing. God, my posture is terrible, isn't it?
You're a bloke, mate.
I know, mate. I know, mate. Well,
your
it's just the thing. So we've got a quiz. We've got some. There's been some big news. Fortnite.
There's
Have
some
you heard
bins.
about the Fortnite stuff?
Well, wow.
Have you heard?
No.
Have you not?
No,
I'm gonna
what?
just figure out if I can just sit this way.
Do you want
Oh, thanks, babes.
Come on.
Oh, thanks, love.
couple?
We just need to.
No,
Oh,
you can't
no, I
do
can't
that
do
because
that.
the microphones fall down.
Here we go. It's fine, everybody. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everyone can see your bum now.
Everything's fine.
As we say, not necessarily safe for work.
Yeah, there's been big. Oh,
Bring your
probably
mic-
the mic would be
Yeah,
a good
see,
idea,
this is-
wouldn't it?
well, this is where it all-
this is fine. We're good. We're good now. We're good.
It's a work in progress.
It is a work.
You
in
know when you go and
progress.
see a work in progress Edinburgh show?
Yeah,
of
this
it
is
like
this
that.
is this is this
Okay,
is.
guys. So, Boris Johnson. Huh?
I'll make a few notes of which jokes are funny and which
Yeah,
aren't.
didn't work.
We Fortnite. You know
Well, I know what it is.
You know what it is. I
Yeah.
mean, those of you that have children probably also know what it is. You can take your foot down now, honestly, unless you're comfortable.
You
I just
say
can't
that.
see the mixing
It's
desk.
very-
That's all.
look
I
at
just
that.
can't
Look
see
at
the
the wibble
gallery.
on that.
Yeah, I know, but that's
Alright, okay,
that's
sorry,
you. I need
okay.
to be able to see, right? I need to be able to see.
Very
Fortnite.
passive aggressive. Carry on.
Fortnite.
Yes.
Is that first person or third person? I think it was third person shooter. I never really got
Nice.
into it. And you run around this environment, and you team up with people, and it's battle royale. So
It's basically Ready Player One, isn't it?
effectively, yeah,
The,
actually.
the movie, which is
Stephen-
nowhere near as good as the book. Haven't read the book, don't need to. The
Was there a
film
book? I
brilliant.
didn't even know that there was a book.
Yeah. Books are dead.
They've killed Fortnite.
They've killed it.
So the game has. They're going to be releasing Fortnite 2. This is a free-to-play game. This is one of those games that people downloaded, and there's a lot in the news.
Wouldn't they call that month?
They called it Chapter. I think they're calling it Chapter 2. I think that's the
Okay.
plan. So they're going to call. So they did this amazing event which broke Twitch, and it broke YouTube, and it broke what other Mixer, other streaming platforms that gamers were on. I think there's something like 4.5 million people watching the end of Fortnite, and
wow.
it was this effectively some kind of comet or something that comes down and blows the planet up.
Seriously?
And people get flown off, so their characters fly off. If you're on the game and in the server, their characters went flying into space, and they could see a black hole encompassing and sucking in
No way.
sucking in the Fortnite universe, everything, and so it all became. It was very, very funny actually, and quite exciting because it's never been done before, and
No.
people in the menus were having the same. Even their menus kind of sucked into a black hole, so they did lovely little touches like that so that the people could see.
amazing.
So they've got it off. There's no news at the moment as to when it's going to be. When it's going to go back, when it's going to come back, when Chapter 2 is going to be released, but we do know that that Chapter 2 is coming. So that's quite a big deal. I mean, this is Fortnite. This is the game that's changed esports in the last couple of months. This is the game where, about 10 weeks ago they had a competition, and the person won more money than the Wimbledon finals or the US
Oh
Open.
yeah. Was it the kid from
So-
Essex?
Yes, the kid
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Essex. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Ups away.
Thank you. Fortnite is one of those sort of monetized things where you can buy add-ons and stuff.
Yes, only customization for character customization. So
Yeah.
only things like skins and appearance
Right.
stuff.
So, since they effectively blew up stuff people own, is it going to be carried on to the next
Yeah, I
game,
mean,
or do you see what I mean? Because I feel like they've
Yeah.
effectively blown up someone's property there.
Yeah, I mean
I'm showing all the T's and C's, but
the answer to that is pretty simply I mean it would make no sense for them to get rid of these microtransactions, and for people to have lost all of the stuff that they've invested in. It just wouldn't make any sense at all. So I presume what will happen is any of the customizable skins or whatever you have will be available to you once they've re-released Chapter 2. Having said that, there's no guarantee, because if this is a whole new game, then there's going to be a whole new set of assets available to you.
That's what I'm saying.
So, and it's not like, generally speaking, when you buy a series of games, say it's Call of Duty or Battlefield or Battlefront or Borderlands or whatever it is, you will get a reward for being a loyal customer, but you won't unlock all of the in-game stuff. And the game is free to download. So this is the thing. So if it's free to download, they have to monetize somehow.
No, I understand. I'm
so
just
they
saying,
will- they
you
will
could
do
walk into
that.
a museum that's free and buy something in the gift shop. They can't just nick it back off you when you leave the gift shop.
No,
Good analogy
no,
on
but-
the fly, Jake.
well,
Thank you
it's-
very much, Tamer.
Not really, because if the museum was a natural history museum and then all of a sudden they decided the following year that they wanted to get rid of all the stuff from the natural history museum and make it into a science museum, for example, then all of the stuff that you bought from the gift shop is redundant. So you go
Yeah, but
back
it's
to the
still it's
museum.
in my house.
Yeah, but you've still got the asset. You've used the assets. You may have thrown it away. You may not be using that anymore. You may not want the...
Someone will
Stuff.
sue them.
Well, there's already suing going on in
I bet.
Fortnite, and that's to do with the addiction. We spoke about this, I think, last week.
Yeah.
So there's this whole thing about the
Yeah.
Epic Games being sued for addiction.
And that was just boring and depressing.
I
And
mean,
we've
that
got
was
fun and
just-
interesting stuff.
Yeah, we've got lots of cool stuff to talk about.
Hashtag what's the point? People watching this live have been in touch.
Already.
Which is
It's
great.
impressive.
People very much enjoyed your microphone business. Julie
Sorry.
says it's like watching You've Been Framed live. Fortnite 2 Electric Boogaloo, she asks. Games Extra says, looking slick, guys. Really smooth operators. All right.
No need
All
to
right,
be
mate.
like that.
All right. Just because you knocked up your own little logo in Photoshop like the rest of us, well done.
That's
Ready
our
Aim Fight
designer,
wants
that's
to know.
Checkpoint's
Yeah, well,
designer.
there you go then.
So he's great. We love you. Thanks.
Oh yeah, he does quite.
does
a lot
all of our
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, you're really brilliant with that. Sorry. Ready Aim Fight says, "Evening guys, what's on the VHS next to the PS4 games?"
Oh, wow. He's noticed them.
These ones.
Yeah. So if you look behind you and then if
Oh,
you look
yeah.
in that cupboard...
Oh,
in that
God, you've
cupboard,
got
in that,
millions.
yeah. So that's we spoke about this last week. Ready Aim Fire. I'm digitizing all of our childhood videos, and why don't you check last week's podcast and find out more?
Good idea. Jem says, "Hello, Julie. Hello, Jake. Hello, Tim." I love that Julie and Jem are kind of integral to this.
So yeah, and Pablo.
Basically, just for
Yeah.
yeah. Julie says, "I'd very much like Jake Yap and Tamer to read me a special bedtime." All right. So
Next week, Julie. Next week before the
No.
show, we've written one.
Absolutely not.
And-
Oh yeah, Vox. Yeah, it ended up being set in Vauxhall, but that was kind of my own.
That was his problem.
It's not.
There's
problem,
some
it's
stuff
an
that Jake's
opportunity.
still working through. I
Right,
think.
here's a game I played.
Okay, go.
Right, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Have you played Alto's Adventure
No.
or Alto's Adventure?
No, so what we'll do... I didn't have time this week, but we're going to have a picture-in-picture next week.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll
But
be
for
able
now,
to...
I'll just hold it up.
Yeah, just hold it up. Yeah.
I really like this game. Sequel's just come out, but everyone said you should really do the first game first, and I'm a bit of a completist, so I got the
Okay.
first game first. This is Alto's Adventure. It's
I'll go...
Alto's
operate the camera.
Odyssey.
I'll go... operate the
Alto's Odyssey is the new one that's just come out. They're both $4.99, so you might as well. This is a fun challenge. So, you are a snowboard, but it's really beautiful, and you have to chase down all of your alpacas or whatever they are. So there I am, and to do a jump, whoops! I smashed into some rocks there. This is extremely hard to do in mirror. Here we go. Come on.
Do you want a bigger screen?
Oh, whatever.
to feed it to the...
You get the idea. It doesn't really matter. You do jumps. It's just a very charming game. I love the graphics. It's very simple. It's very cute. I'm just gonna do lots of jumping now, and Tamer's just wandered off.
No,
Yeah, the
I'm
monkeys.
here. I'm just trying to
And there's his bum.
mix for you. There's my bum. Sorry, guys.
And if you can jump on the bunting, everyone.
Bunting jumps.
Yeah, you made that sound wrong, but anyway, it's a really nice game. And it's infinite. What I really like is these levels go on forever until you smash every bone in your body. So that's really fun. I'm still going. Good lord, it's a fun game.
You're enjoying
I like that game.
You're actually quite enjoying
And I managed not to say beautiful. Go on.
You did actually, I think.
Oh.
You're quite enjoying the kind of throwaway games that could be. I call them toilet games. The fact that you can sit on the toilet, go for a poop.
I don't play toilet games.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Everybody plays toilet games.
I know what you mean.
They're disposable. They're
Well,
kind of.
do you know what it is? You'll know this as a parent. You get very little sovereignty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Over the television, for example.
Well,
Over
not
any
me.
handheld device. You won't got your own. You've built your own cave. So and only sometimes the last bastion of sovereignty is
Yeah. No, I agree.
iPad.
I agree.
So while Spike was reprising Toy Story 3, the video game, which is one of the all-time greatest games, I surreptitiously thought, I don't know, something to talk about. I'll find something on here, and I found that, and I think it's really lovely.
It's really lovely, and that's the first game. Is that's the one that you've been playing?
Yeah, Alto's Adventure,
Yeah, it's great.
published by Didn't Check Games. Didn't check.
Good, amazing.
Thank you.
I've been. I want to show you my phone because my airline route has expanded quite significantly from last week.
Your Syrian airline. I'm astonished. Since there are substantially more no-fly zones than there were this time last week.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the
Horrendous.
and the Americans and the Turks and the Kurds. It's all kicking off, but Saw Syria is soaring on
very, very
through.
sore,
It's pushing on through, to say the least. There's a real depth to this game that I had never, ever really the other airline game I've got rid of, but this one.
How have your bowel movements been this week? Because I want to gauge how much you've been
Actually
playing.
terrible. Last night I did not sleep. You don't want to know this, but
No, I really don't.
no, I didn't sleep last night, and I'm surprised I'm good. Anyway, that's not the point.
You told me that before you gave me that leftover omelette.
You don't eat omelettes,
No, I know.
so it's fine. You'll be grand.
It was a reach.
So this airline management game, it is actually really, 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 really deep. There are so many levels to it, and you have to train staff, and you have to make sure that your routes are profitable. You have to change the configuration of the seating first and business and economy class so that you maximize the routes. You have to unlock new aircraft in order to get long haul and short haul and medium haul flights. You have to be able to kind of make partnerships with banks in order to get loans, and partnerships with third parties to provide food and to provide.
Who have you done the scratch cards deal with?
I haven't done any.
Buy a scratch card.
Buy a scratch card. I haven't done any scratch card deals, although I've got 13 quid in scratch cards.
If you do have any leftover currency that you do wish to donate to our chosen charity, which do you have air stewards who use the word "do" too much?
Oh,
we
no.
do ask at this time that you do fasten your seatbelts and that you do.
That's micromanagement. I'm not really interested in the micromanagement. I'm not interested in the micromanagement element. But it's great, and I'm really excited. I've got a whole network of
Friends.
I'm into
Yeah.
Europe. I've now branched out into other areas within the Middle East, and I'm flying into North Africa. And I've got I'm really excited because I've actually got a A330 that flies down to Johannesburg.
Oh, that's the business.
So I'm really, really excited, and
Yeah.
that's one of my most
Tell me.
profitable routes.
I don't know how to say this, but you're getting off on this at a time when a little 16-year-old girl from Sweden is sailing around the world to try to highlight the fact that the planet's on fire, mate. And there's you in your toilet burning it all up.
My CO2.
Yeah, I was talking about your bowels. But
Oh right. I was going to say because I've actually offset my CO2 emissions within the game
but
anyway.
that's
So
a yes.
so that's. I mean,
That
just the fact
doesn't
that
really-
I'll
that's not a thing.
there we go. So that's what I've been playing. I haven't had much of a chance to play anything else. I do want to go back because I remember I was looking back at our first live stream that wasn't live streamed, that we did
Yep, I don't
3
remember.
weeks ago.
Okay, great.
And we spoke about Gears of War, and there was a whole discussion there around kind of finding out who you were, which I think we'll probably leave for another time. I was going to talk about it today, but I've gone
Is this
back to.
counselling?
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It's
No.
it's a Gears of War thing. It was about the character, the protagonist, Kate, who finds out that she actually belongs to the race that but she's been fighting and has been conditioned to hate her whole life. So, so it wasn't very good, and it reminded me of the time that I went to Bosnia to do a documentary on children 10 years after the war. So it was in 2005.
I'll chuck that one in. I am trying to leaven this.
Okay. Shall we leave it? We'll leave it for next week. We'll leave it next week. It's a bit heavy.
Tell us all about it.
So I went to Bosnia to do an investigative piece at the time for the BBC, which I can't remember if it went out or not, but it was 10 years after the war in 1995, so it was 2005, and we went out to look at the children that had grown up post-war, post-former Yugoslavia, after the breakup, and how they were dealing with the kind of breakup. So, you've got your Bosnia-Herzegovina, you've got Macedonia, you've got
the other ones,
yeah. All of the other Serbia's the most important one of them all. Yeah. And as we were going around, we found out that there were children that getting to 10 years old that were kind of born during the conflict, and what we learned was that these children were told their whole lives that that they were Serbian, that they were Bosnian, and that their fathers had been killed, and their brothers had been killed, and they were left alone in this environment, and there were only their mothers to look after them, and all of the men in their family had been killed, and so they'd grown up with this real hatred of the Serbian neighbours that they were growing up with, and in that part of the world, I mean, the kind of the Eastern Bloc, if you like, is very kind of pivotal because it's the kind of contact to East and West. Before then, you've got the empires go back to the as far as the Austro-Hungarian Empire and before. So these things are always changing, and then you've got the kind of the Ottoman Empire and even the kind of the Holy Roman Empire. So all of that region is very, very mixed, and it can get quite dangerous. This is kind of ethnic cleansing, which Milosevic really utilised in that. And these are the themes that I started seeing in Gears of War. So when we started interviewing these women and these children, we found out that these kids were told their whole lives that they were, children of the war, only to find out that they were actually the offspring of the raped women in the concentration camps in Bosnia, and their fathers were Serbian soldiers that had raped these Bosnian women. And so this kind of whole hatred, if you like, kind of existed of their neighbouring country, and they didn't really know how to handle it. Their whole, they've been told your whole lives that you are, the Serbs killed your family, and the Serbs did this, and the Serbs did that, and then all of a sudden you found out that you are half Serbian, and it really screwed with that whole generation. That generation now is in their mid-20s, and I think the country's getting better, and there's kind of a lot more acceptance and understanding of what had happened. But these are the themes that I think we should be kind of discussing, and these are the themes that kind of are brought out in Gears of War 5. Really interesting themes where we follow Kate, who's the protagonist, and she learns that she is actually part of the Locust family, and she is the descendant of the Queen. And there's a lot of story, kind of background story behind it, which I won't go into, because if those of you that haven't played it want to play it, you should really check it out. It's really good fun. But it's just interesting that we're now seeing these kind of grown-up themes making their way through video games and actually dealing with these things and being able to relate them to real world stuff. So that's my bring it down for a minute. That's my sad Gogglebox moment.
Yeah, I mean, I've got
but I'd love to hear what, if there are any games like that you've played that you feel that there's a link, or that they've got some kind of relation to something that you've seen in real life. It'd be really, really interesting to hear your stories, because there are lots of these stories. Far Cry, the last Far Cry that was released as well, New Something, dealt with the whole kind of nuclear apocalypse and what would happen if crazy people like Donald Trump got into power and pressed that button. So there are some really kind of major issues that I think are important to discuss. Anyway, over to you, Jake.
Thanks, mate.
Should we see what people are saying? Should we just see what people are saying? Ultimate
Kongsberg 4 is quite hard to off the back of.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
It's all right, babes.
No, thanks. Okay, well, Jem is a fan of Alto's Adventure,
Oh, good.
I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if someone's standing on his phone. He's got kids. It's possible.
Of course.
And
In
Alto's
fact,
Adventure.
Jem, by the way, these bedtime stories were inspired primarily by you from last week, saying that you were putting the kids to bed when Jake was late. So next week you'll get your bedtime story.
Yeah.
There you go. Sorry.
Okay.
Babs. Sorry.
Anything else you want to bring in? Like,
I just want to bring that down because people can't really see your face.
I'm happy with that.
There you go.
You know, do you want to bring in, I don't know, the massacre of the Aboriginals or anything like that?
Well,
mate,
funny you say that.
No! Anyway, Alto's Adventure became 6, says Jem. But if an obsession in our house after the kids played it in an Apple store, rare that something was also on Android for their tablets. Okay, cool.
Yeah, great.
Oh, so your kids were those kids in the Apple store, were they? When people like me were thinking, should I buy an iPad Pro? Oh, I'll never know because there are some kids playing a snowboarding game. Anyway, okay. And Julie says there's an idea for a game: airport micromanagement, selling scratch cards, 3 for 2 offers in duty free. Why Stephanie's called in sick and can't work with Donna yet again. Yeah, funny that. Thank you very much for that.
Keep them coming. We love to hear your thoughts.
Hashtag
What else
what's
have
the
you
point?
been playing?
Yeah,
anything
well,
else?
no, shh. I'm kidding. Few things. So there's some any other business from last week.
Oh yes, go.
The football game I told you that had the same sort of catapulty mechanics with the footballers being pinged across the thing. It's called A Small World Cup by Rujo Games.
You might need to have
R-U-J-O.
to. You might have to need to build a little jingle for any of the business because all I've got is a corrections and clarifications thing.
Okay. Yeah,
So then I'll just sort of
yeah,
have to
mate.
drop
No,
it
don't
in.
worry about it.
So yeah, sorry, what was that?
Don't worry about it, mate. I've done it.
Okay. Awkward.
There's a story on Eurogamer about Harry Potter accidentally helping a Kickstarter game become a huge success.
I didn't think Harry Potter was real.
Yeah, no, he is real, mate. You just have to believe.
Okay. How did he help?
Harry Potter
What did he do?
lives
What did he do? What did he do? That's what I want to know.
here, mate. Well, it was a Kickstarter game about dragons,
Okay.
and they frankly they weren't doing all that well. They were sort of making a bit of headway with this Kickstarter project, and they were trying to raise, I can't remember, I think it was $12,000. Yes, $12,000. To try to get some dragons designed. They had a few designed, and they wanted to do a few more with some other artists.
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
the Harry Potter game was doing its Day of the Dragons in-game event on Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Okay.
Suddenly, everyone was searching for dragons on Google.
Oh, very good.
It came up,
Very
and
good.
they raised $500,000.
$500,000.
$500,000, which was amazing.
That's
so
incredible.
it's very exciting, and I think it launches on Steam on the 21st of November.
It's very cool.
So that's very cool. It's called Day of Dragons.
Well, sticking with bizarre stories in that world, I don't know if you saw, but there is going to be a Nintendo World that is being built in Japan, in Osaka, and the Universal Studios in Osaka, which is quite cool. There have been pictures leaked about, so you can see now the construction has begun,
Amazing.
and there are some Mario pipes and from the Mario world, so
That's fun.
stuff. So there's going to be a Nintendo World, and it's happening. It's very, very, very exciting. So
I feel like they sort of did that, didn't they? Like with Takeshi's Castle,
Takeshi's Castle is basically a video game
isn't it?
platform. I mean, it's a platformer, which I think is brilliant. But also from Japan, I don't know if you've seen this. And you may
Yes, of course, I'm always across everything.
but
Yep.
PlayStation 5 has been announced.
Right.
It's been announced.
Yeah.
And it's been confirmed.
Yep.
And there's going to be a whole new system.
And it's gonna look like a commode.
It's going to look like the PlayStation 4 and 3.
Is it
and
not the
2.
sort of weird horseshoey shaped thing?
No idea.
Okay.
I don't think there's been any images out, but they are changing the architecture. So one of the interesting is we know that Xbox Project Scarlet was announced at E3 this year. So this is the next
This is the
generation.
Scarlet Moffat.
This is the
AR.
Scarlet Moffat AR.
Yeah.
This is the next generation of consoles from Microsoft and Sony. Sony were very, very quiet during that period. They haven't said anything at all, but they have been working. They are going to be releasing PlayStation 5 in 2020, I think later 2020. It's going to have a solid state hard drive like the Microsoft console will have. It will also feature some incredible architecture that allows you to only install parts of the game. So at the moment, when people are downloading games, you have to download the whole game before you can access it and play it. But say, for example, you've downloaded a game and you only want to play the multiplayer element of it, it'll download the core bits and pieces that you need and only the multiplayer. So it's not taking up huge amounts of space on your hard drive, which means that you don't need a bigger hard drive, and also gives you a faster accessibility to the game as well. So you've not got all of that stuff loading in the background. There's also a new DualShock controller. So they're going to use haptic control.
Triple shock. This time, taser.
Well, they actually may as well call it that, because there is...
Do you remember the 6-axis?
They still use 6-axis in the controllers.
Yeah.
So,
This is a very easy way to fly.
It's really, really annoying.
Yeah.
But the PlayStation 4 controller, actually, if you open up that cupboard, there's a PlayStation 4 controller at the top near the PlayStation.
I just feel like I'm going to smash it.
No, it's fine. Up there. Just pull it out. There you go, love.
Pulled it out.
So what they introduced in the last controller, if you hold it up, is this touchpad here, where you could... This was on the back of the PS Vita, and it's quite dusty because I don't really use the PlayStation.
Yeah, you can finger it up the back.
Yeah, exactly. You can
slide
absolutely slide it and finger it, and that
yeah.
same thing applies here. This is also a touchpad and like a mouse trackpad.
Fingering.
I don't know if they're going to
It's
continue.
a nice patina on that.
It's a lovely patina. I don't know if they're going to continue using this, but they're going to use haptic controls, because at the moment you've only got 2 vibrators that happen down here and here. So when you're playing something with a shock or something, that's the DualShock.
2 vibrators is
from
plenty.
there. But they're going to be using the haptic controllers now. So they're going to be using, you know how you've got the different kind of levels within your in your phone. Most phones now have haptic controls that allow you different vibrations. They're going to be using that technology in the next generation of controllers for the PlayStation. Now, the PlayStation has always been, as far as I'm concerned, and my personal opinion is, I don't like the ergonomics of the controller, but the technology of the controller has always been incredible. So they were the first console to have wireless controllers. They were the first one to have vibration feedback, the first ones to use Bluetooth instead of the Wi-Fi networks. They've got
the first one with the dough hooks for if you're doing dough. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of like a food processor.
What?
Carry on.
What are you talking about?
I was just thinking of all the firsts.
Anyway, so they've got all of this stuff patented and it's very excited. And on top of all of that, they're going to be doing more stuff with AR and VR. So PSVR, which you know exists,
yes,
you've seen it. It's good. It's a kind of entry-level VR kit, but it's good if you want to spend a couple of hours playing some games. It's a good kind of entry-level stuff. So they've got a whole new patented selection of stuff for VR. So the next PlayStation 5 looks pretty impressive. And with the catalogue of games that they're going to have, I mean, I don't really want to talk about Gran Turismo, because every time they announce a new console, they say, yep, this is going to be the flagship console for Gran Turismo. And Gran Turismo is always terrible. There are much better driving games now. Project Cars being one. Forza, if you want a console-specific one, is another really good one. But I would say if you want a real kind of a real driving experience, go for Project Cars and Project Cars 2.
Can I tell you about my real driving experience?
Yeah.
If you go to London Electric Cars on Instagram,
oh yes,
you can see my car having its new engine lowered into it.
I was going to ask
today.
you about this. Is it so? How is that going?
Don't know, mate. But they're lowering the engine into it.
So, can you explain to everybody what it is that you've done, rather than just throwing that out there?
Well, a year ago, I bought in the same week I bought a written off Nissan Leaf and a 1963 Morris Minor Traveller. And you can probably figure it out now. So a nice man with an oily rag and a wrench in Vauxhall,
who we've done interviews with, not Jake and I, but we did on Talk Radio. We used to have him come in a couple of times and talk about
Matthew
the
Quitter. He's a
really
very, very lovely man.
He's a lovely guy, actually. And if you want to do any electrification and you're within the home counties, do go.
Well, get in line, okay? Because I've been waiting well over a year. Okay, so let's get mine out, and then by all means, get in touch. Anyway, any day now. I'm told. Anyway, I'm sorry, I totally butted in.
It's fine.
Shall I do the next thing on my list? There's
Yeah.
a nice game. It's a mad little game at Vole, as in the very small indigenous mammal.
Yes.
Vol.wtf, easy to remember, / perfect circle. Perfect circle at vol.wtf. Perfect circle.
Explain the
name of the
premise of
game
the game,
is?
please.
Draw a perfect circle.
That's impossible.
The Giotto thing, isn't it? When he was presented to, like, I don't know, some king or
There's
something.
no such
and
thing.
the king said, well, they say you're a good artist. How good an artist are you? And he went, give us a pen. The king gave him a medieval biro. And he drew a perfect circle. And was like, that's how good I am, mate. Now, do you want your pictures done or what?
Mathematically, and here's a bit, there's no such thing as a circle. Because a circle is effectively a sequence of infinite straight lines.
Yeah. Sorry, do that again. Cool. That's a left-handed and a right-handed circle you got to see there. Anyway,
Clockwise
the game
and
is you just have to draw a circle, and it gives you a percentage score.
Really?
And on my first go, I got something like 93%.
Wow.
And then got nowhere near it ever again.
Really?
It's a really fun.
I can imagine it's one of those things that you can
game.
It's one of those things that you can
finger in the toilet.
and yeah, exactly. Toilet. It's disgusting.
Okay, let's press on. I want to talk about Ultimate Koonsberg 4.
Okay, so I was thinking about this today because I think the best way really for us to kind of handle this, I think, is to make it a choose your own adventure type game. So instead of messing around with graphics...
So you don't want the point and click thing, you want a text-based...
No, I do, but that one might be Ultimate Koonsberg 5. We might have to wait to build
the
the
next generation technology to get past
to do
basic ASCII text.
So exactly. So we do kind of like all we do, and maybe we just do some images that we can have the images, we can have the text superimposed on the images. You choose the answer that you want to kind of go down, and then it takes you like a choose your own adventure game.
This could possibly work. I've had some thoughts.
This is what scares me,
that I've
Jake.
jotted
I'm not
down.
going to lie to you. Yeah.
Giottoed down.
Okay.
Do you remember? So I was just thinking about how the game sort of unfurls and presents itself. Do you remember the tutorial level in Drive-Thru-R? The third in the Driver.
Oh, Driver, yeah.
Drive-Thru-R, which didn't work.
Driver,
didn't work.
Driver.
It's like Seven Even, the film Seven Even. Seven Even. What was it? Says Seven Even. You know what I mean?
All right,
don't put numbers in the middle of words. It looks really
like
stupid.
Butters every time you from South Park. You just Mom. Anyway, carry on.
Are you okay, mate?
I'm fine. It's you that I'm worried about, Jake.
I feel like you're a mess. Anyway, fiendishly hard tutorial level. Do you remember that in Drive-Thru-R?
Yeah.
It was so hard.
Yeah, I do.
I think Ultimate Koonsberg 4 is going to be like that, because your first task as Laura Koonsberg is to smash the glass ceiling of the patriarchy. Fiendishly hard tutorial level.
Amazing. Who's she going to go for first?
Paxman.
Paxman. No, Paxman's gone.
She's got to... Well, because we're going back. I don't know. I
but I think the crossover, she was a political editor. I think she was on...
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Okay. Yeah.
So that was one thought.
I like that.
And then I thought...
I actually really like that.
As a game mechanism, you have to fill your notebook up with contacts.
That's
so it's all about getting contacts.
That's great.
And that helps you build your network of sort of information and sources and
I
tidbits
do like
and stuff.
that.
I thought maybe we could have a plot line. Maybe we could have a plot line like whether you were trying to find out whether or not... Top of my head idea, right? Total fiction, right? Say the fictitious Prime Minister had got their fictitious lover pregnant.
Joris Bonson?
No. Fictitious.
Joris Bonson, he's...
No, mate. I'm not talking about anyone with any of those letters in their name. And they'd had a blazing row in their flat. In the fictitious...
Oh, I see where you're going with this. I don't know where... That's inspired. I don't know. Where did you get your inspiration from?
Absolute thin air.
I mean...
And absolutely not
It's
real
impressive. I don't think I could have come up
And then I'm spitballing here, but maybe...
Much like the Prime Minister
Maybe
was.
you have the leader of the house as literally a psychopath.
Okay.
And he sort of cackles horribly as you slowly dismember his member's member.
This is sounding more and more like a Jim will paint it picture,
Right.
rather than a,
Yeah.
than a game.
Can you not see? And obviously, anyone I'm talking about there is just pure fiction.
Yeah, I mean it's coincidental.
But if you were going to apply it, no. If you were going to apply it, I find Jacob Rees-Mogg. I think. Can you not imagine like him slowly being like dismembered, like incredible pain, and him just going to go? Can you not hear sort of really weird kind of?
I can only see him
Something died
in that
inside
same
him.
position that he was in.
The lounging.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just watching people hack away at him and just.
Do you know what I mean? Because at first it was sort of imagining him watching other people having terrible things done to them. I thought, yeah, I can imagine him sort of licking his lips and laughing at that. But then I thought, no, he'd actually be sort of amused by it happening to himself. This man is so dead inside. He believes in nothing and feels nothing.
I mean, we have
other
to
than mild amusement.
caveat this: that these are Jake's thoughts entirely.
These are my opinions and not necessarily those of Checkpoint LLC.
But yeah, I can see where you're going with this, but I don't see how Koonsberg would she be inflicting the torture? That's the question.
No, I don't think so. Maybe that would just be a sort of news story or something.
A mini game.
And obviously,
a mini game.
There's a problem here because we're talking about fictitious characters.
Of course,
Koonsberg, of course, is real.
Yeah, and Jacob Rees-Mogg is also real.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be in the game. No one I've mentioned in the game with any kind of plot lines is based on anyone real.
Right. So we'd have Jake Mogg.
Don't you dare. And then I thought at the end of every level in the game, you could kind of have like a sped up Space Invaders bit where you have to destroy all the trolls.
Yeah, okay, we can do that on the one condition that you could never win. That's the condition.
Yeah, it's like a bonus level. You know, there's bonus level. You get as much as you can before you can.
But you never actually.
You're never going to
beat it. You're never going to beat the trolls.
Okay, great.
I like it.
Thanks.
I really think that though. I think actually the more I think about it, it's text-based. Choose your own adventure. What do you guys think?
Because you're basically downgrading. I remember when we first talked about making a video game, you were like, "Yeah, we can do an AR, blah blah." And now we're down to a text.
We could,
we
could, but I need time. I genuinely need time, and
I don't need time. I'm ready to go.
All right, well, download. Go download the Unreal Engine or an SDK of some description. Yeah, start building the game, mate. Start building,
mate. I've done it.
Oh, you've done it.
yeah.
So you can, guys.
It's compiling. It's compiling. It's very slow to compile.
Right.
That's the thing.
Right.
It's not
a thing.
Compiling's a thing.
Maybe in your world. What are you compiling? That's composting. That's composting.
All right. Fine. Shall we do the quiz?
Are we doing quiz?
Yeah.
Okay, pause. Okay, let's go.
Hang on, wait. Freeze. Just buffering.
Okay, go for it. What have we got?
This is thrilling, isn't it?
I'm excited.
Question 1. I'm just doing that. I'm doing that for people watching it on the live stream.
Okay.
But this is what it really sounds like.
Ba-ding.
Which of the following is a real Mario game?
Oh, okay, go.
Mario Kitty Play Pets. I Am a Teacher Super Mario Sweater. Mario the Juggler. Which is real, Tamer? Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock.
The kitty one, I would say.
Mario Kitty Play Pets?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Question 2. What planet is roughly the size of a Minecraft world? Or to put it better, your average Minecraft world is roughly the size of what planet? What?
A planet in our solar system.
Maybe. Yes. Okay. Yes.
I would say, I would argue.
We don't have to argue. We don't have to argue.
What have we got? We've got. I would say. I've never played Minecraft, so I can't Raneem.
I love that you feel like you could just have a look at it. Work it out.
Well, the thing is, you could.
Yeah, I reckon that's.
I'd probably say Neptune. Maybe I'd say it'd be bigger than Mercury. I don't think it'd be as small as Mercury. Venus is about the same size as Earth, and I don't think that would do it. Mars is smaller. It could be Mars or Neptune. I don't think it'd be like one of the gas giants. I don't think it'd be like Jupiter or Saturn. It could be Uranus.
Here we go.
Neptune.
Neptune.
I'm gonna go with Neptune.
Thank you. What's the name of the orange ghost in Pac-Man?
Oh, I hate you so much.
No, I'm afraid that's wrong. The truth is, you love me.
I'm gonna pass.
Well, you might as well have a wild guess then.
Orange.
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 Okay. And can you name the earliest interactive gaming device that was based on a World War II radar display? What? It was an interactive games device.
An interactive games device.
And it was based on a World War II radar display.
It's not console. Can you read the question again?
Yes, can you name the earliest interactive gaming device that was based on a World War II radar display? How do you spell that?
P.
Do you want to give it a go?
F. Yeah, I want to. I'm just trying to think of the radar. Interactive radar. I want to say, but it's interactive gaming device. It's not so.
Yep.
If it's interactive.
Yep. Yep.
A radar device, like the display was based on the radar device. Is that what you wrote?
The gaming device is based on a radar display. Dear God damn it. You're not going to get this. Don't worry about it.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Let it go. It's really important.
Spectrum ZX.
Spectrum.
It's
ZX.
wrong. I know it's wrong. I'm sorry, guys. Stop screaming
And
at your screens.
I love this story. Captain Novolin was a game based on what illness?
Captain Novolin.
Captain Novolin.
Was it dysentery? Maybe?
Dysentery. Okay. Let's find out how you did. Question 1. Which of the following was a real Mario game? You said
The kitty one.
Mario Kitty Play Pets. In truth, it was
Juggler.
I Am a Teacher, Super Mario Sweater. It was probably a sort of franchised educational game. But I don't know what sweaters and teachers. I don't know what that's all about.
Well, I went for the kitty one because Japan and they have cat cafes in Japan, so I just thought maybe
that's why I made it up.
You're such a man.
Then we asked what planet is roughly the size of a Minecraft world. You said Neptune, and were correct, mate.
Yes.
262 quadrillion, 144 trillion blocks.
Wow, that's huge.
It's monumentally big. I did not realize how big it was.
And it's only like 34 meg game save
I know.
as well.
How do they do that?
That's just compression.
That's insane.
Or compiling.
Compiling is the thing. So, right, I'm checking the hashtag. Tell me, hashtag, what's the point? Compiling's the thing you do with software, isn't it? It is.
You don't compile software.
You absolutely do.
You hoard it. That's basically like saying I'm hoarding software.
No.
It's like my bottom
When
drawer.
you finish writing a program, then it compiles it into like an exe file or whatever. That's compiling.
Hashtag, what's the point? We want to know.
Yeah, but you might have
if
to check it.
are-
I can't get any signal.
Okay, right. How? You should have full reception.
I know. I can't. It's not.
Is it not
loading.
connected?
No, it doesn't matter.
Try.
None of this matters.
Try.
Mate, I'm
Just
trying.
try.
Mate.
Can we get on with the blooming quiz, please?
Yeah, because you're all fired up now because you got Neptune.
Neptune! I can't
Um,
believe I got that right.
Okay, so we asked what's the name of the orange ghost in Pac-Man.
For those of you watching, Jake cannot multitask. Just saying.
Doesn't matter.
I mean,
It literally doesn't
you
matter.
know, it's fine. It's fine. I'll sit here. We wrote you a bedtime story, if you hadn't heard.
Yes.
Which will be out next week. So what will happen is we will play the bedtime story before we roll the opening credits for the live stream.
Jem says there should be a spin-off podcast, A Game at Bedtime.
Actually, so it's
possibly
funny
not.
you say that, Jem, because what we're going to do is I'm going to actually cut the bedtime stories and put them up as their separate podcast.
And he explained that he was tweeting while he was putting the kids to bed, which is why there were typos in the last one.
Bless him. Bless him.
Julie says, there are no circles. What next, Tamer? There's no Easter Bunny.
Wow.
Jem says, Ultimate Koonsberg needs to be text-based with some 8-bit teletext-style still graphics. That's a really good idea.
We want the bamboozle element. Do you remember bamboozle?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how slowly you can dismember Jake Yap Rees-Mogg, though. Yeah, good point. Oh, hello. Jem also says, software is compiled from whatever you've written it into machine language. Well, thank you very much, Jem. Really appreciate your input. As always, it's hashtag what's the point. You can get in touch via @checkpointmzine up the Twitters, or our individual handles are @JakeYap or @mtamer.
It's very rude and completely
Sorry, mate.
inappropriate.
Clyde. The ghost's name is Clyde.
Ah!
Sorry for the derailment there. The earliest interactive gaming device, which was based on a World
I'm
War
gonna
II radar
really
display,
get really annoyed with this
was
now.
called the Cathode Ray Tube Amusement Device.
CRT device.
Snappy.
Is that what it was?
CRT amusement device.
CRT at
Yeah,
Crotad,
it's really interesting.
Crotad.
The
So where did
device-
they get this from? When was
So-
it released?
In 1947, they filed for a patent.
1947.
Yeah. The device simulates an artillery shell arcing towards targets on a cathode ray tube screen, which is controlled by the player by adjusting knobs to change the trajectory of a CRT beam spot on the display in order to reach plastic targets overlaid on the screen.
That is quite cool.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Because cathode ray technology at the time was pretty new as well. I mean,
Yeah,
it
it was
was.
rad.
It was. I mean, radar was pretty new, for God's sake.
Yeah.
You know. Do you want to know that?
So technically, they say it does not count as a video game because it wasn't running software.
No, because it was just a beam of light that was.
No
being
one had done
projected.
any compiling, Tamer. Compiling.
Okay.
And Captain Novolin, we have to play this game.
Okay. Okay.
It's been ranked as one of the top 20 worst games of all time.
Okay. When was it released?
1992.
Okay.
It was based on, you said dysentery, diabetes.
I knew it would be one of those.
It was an educational platform video game starring the eponymous superhero who has type 1 diabetes. There's nothing funny about diabetes.
No, especially
There
not
is something
type 1.
quite funny about trying to market your medical products
through a...
No, I mean, actually, they said some parents said it was quite good because it was about teaching kids about.
Yeah, we
all of this
joke about this kind of stuff, but actually these are quite important games sometimes because they allow children especially to find out stuff that they might be quite scared of finding out otherwise, or
Yeah.
there's no information. In 1992 there was no internet, so
Yeah.
the only way that you could get that kind of information was to go to a doctor or to go to a health professional. And actually type 1 and type 2 diabetes were pretty new back then as well. I mean, we didn't really know much about diabetes, so actually, yeah, we could sit here and laugh, but we should play it just because the technology is so bad.
I agree. According to GameSpot, the game is this: aliens disguised as sugary foods have captured the mayor of Pineville, and it's up to Captain Novolin to rescue him. Leaping maniac donuts and dodging ice cream blobs, Captain Novolin must save Mayor Gooden while managing his diabetes with a good diet, insulin, and exercise. It's an action-packed adventure that teaches you about diabetes management. It was sponsored by Novo Nordisk, who made Novolin insulin products. And it's part of an educational video game series that includes...
Hold on, stop. Part of an
exactly.
educational video
Yeah,
game series,
Way
did you
ahead of
say?
me. Yeah.
Okay.
Rex Ronan, experimental surgeon.
What is this?
I
The
know.
inspiration for Dr. Nick from The Simpsons or something?
Yeah.
Hi everybody.
he Dr.
Dr. Nick.
Was he Dr. Nick?
Dr. Nick. Yeah.
Packy,
Experimental surgeon.
Packy
Sorry.
and Marlon, I don't know what that's about. And Bronchi the Bronchiosaurus, which
About
we can sort of probably figure out.
Probably lung. Yeah.
And Runny
based.
Allen,
Runny Allen.
who had dysentery. No, I made that one up.
Okay.
But it is apparently an absolutely diabolically bad game.
Okay.
So, however well intentioned or financially
Well,
motivated.
let's get the emulators down and check it out.
A diabolical.
So I got one.
You did get one, which is very good.
Shut up.
Now you know how I feel.
Don't
Now you know how I
patronise.
feel.
Don't patronise.
Wow.
Don't patronise.
Why don't you do the thing where you say, why don't we reset from this week? So we'll just say it's 1-0. Why don't you do that, Tommy?
From next week, we're going to change the way the quizzes. No,
For a split second there.
you were there. Good. Well, there was some good questions. It's funny. It's incredible how there's lots of stuff that I hadn't, like the novel and stuff.
Yeah.
It's quite exciting.
Well, the reason we do a quiz is because it's a medium for finding out interesting about fun
Yeah.
things.
What are you doing on your phone? It's really rude. People can
I'm
see
gauging I'm gauging reaction, mate.
you. What are you engaging? Who are you engaging?
Well, no one. That's the trouble.
Good. Well, that was the quiz.
Yes.
What I was going to do, but I couldn't set it up because the inputs were all a little bit wrong. I wanted to do, and I want to know if you guys are interested in this or not. If you want, then we will try to do it for next week. I want to do a challenge Jake section or a challenge Tamara section on the podcast where we literally.
yeah, we didn't have that conversation.
No, I know we didn't. So I'm asking the audience
Okay.
about this. So I'd quite like to set up a game. We'll do a picture-in-picture image where we have the game playing, and then we'll do like. There's some speed traps, for example, in Forza. We can see who can go fastest through speed traps, or we can get Untitled Goose Game,
Okay,
or the
that's all right.
1-2 switch, for example, and do some stuff.
Yeah.
So if you
I was
are
worried
interested,
it was more of a kind of Vauxhall thing.
no, we're
Okay,
not.
cool.
No,
That's fine.
no, we're not gonna. You'll find out more about Vauxhall and its relation to Sonic the Hedgehog next week. But yeah, I thought it might be quite nice to do a challenge thing. So if there's any games that you guys have seen or you know of or you want to, they have to be quite short. So we're looking about a minute so we can kind of get through them. So I don't know, like the Call of Duty opening training session, for example, where you have to go through like a thing.
Never
Or,
get past.
which Jake will never get past, or something similar where we can challenge each other and we'll put it out there. There are speed traps in Forza, like I said, which are quite cool. So you can go the fastest. You choose your car, and and go through that way.
I finally realised what this is all about.
Go on.
This is about you asserting your superiority, isn't it? Because
not
you've had
really.
more games experience.
No. There are
So
some
you're
games I don't
just
play. I haven't played
inevitably
Untitled
gonna-
Goose Game, for example. So I wouldn't. It would
Yeah,
take
but
me a lot
that's a game
longer.
for the children.
Exactly, but games for children are also quite hard. So
Oh, you're like those people who say, "Do you know, the hardest thing, children are the toughest audience you'll ever play." Nah, children are very compliant. They're very sweet.
depends how you raise them, mate. Mine.
Mate.
Well, there we go. I think that's. Is there anything else that you wanted to say? Is there anything else you've been playing? Is there anything else? Is there anybody else that's saying anything? Do you guys have anything?
No,
to say?
no one's got anything to say.
Nobody's got
But
anything to say?
no, that's it. I think thank you very much indeed for listening to the podcast. Do subscribe and share. These things make a difference, and things. We're probably just going to spoon for the next hour or so, just to kind of. It's quite a come down after we've done a show like this, and we have to come on.
Just need to snuggle down
Yeah,
and and go to sleep.
yeah.
So, guys, thanks very much for watching, and we will see you next week again for another exciting podcast. We hope. Anyway, I'm going to fade to black now. Actually, and
Personally, or just mood wise.
mood wise, and if it doesn't work and you still hear our mics, then we're sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that one.
Yeah.
That was fun. Anyway, thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.